Hello friends, this is Kuldeep and I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to take you through a session on conflict. It is a session on how to manage conflict in the organization. We all know that conflict is inevitable in all organizations. What is required is an effective management of conflict. So in this session, I will take you through different reasons why conflict occurs and the different styles of managing conflict. I'm sure you will enjoy this session. If you want to keep getting videos related to the areas of human resource function, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. So let's start.
The objective here is to understand conflict in organization, to manage our own emotional responses to difficult situations, and to manage conflict more effectively. I'll give you a simple test on conflict. Look at the words below and say the color, not the word. For example, conflict here is written in red. So instead of reading it as conflict, you have to say the color, that is red. Similarly, management is written in blue. So instead of reading it as management, you have to say the color, that is blue. I'll run you through few words and you have to say the color and not the words what is written. I'll give you 10 seconds for this test. I'm sure you might have enjoyed this test. There is a conflict. Your right brain tries to say the color, whereas the left brain insists on reading the word. This is called the left-right conflict. So friends, we saw here that within ourselves we have so much of conflict. Conflict is present within a human being between the left brain and the right brain. It is but natural that when two people meet, conflict may occur. What is conflict? So, conflict is a difference of interests, understanding values, style, or opinion. Conflict exists when actions of one person prevent, block, interfere, injure, or in some way make achievement of another person's goals less likely. Conflict is the fight, collision, struggle, or contest between competitors. Why does conflict occur? Because of different values and beliefs, role pressures or clarification, perception differences between individuals, diverse goals or objectives, group status or entity, race, ethnicity or gender differences, personality clash or conflict, competition for limited resources, disagreement on how things should be done, personal, self or group interest, tension and stress, informational deficiency, and power and influence. Well, it is said that conflict is both good as well as bad. It's surprising that some people say that conflict is good. However, the good conflict has to be a functional conflict. It is said that functional conflict contributes to the achievement of the goals of the group or the organizational. Functional conflict should be nurtured, if not encouraged. The bad part of conflict is called as dysfunctional conflict, which impedes the organization from accomplishing its goals. Dysfunctional conflict should be reduced or removed. Let's see the different levels of conflict. It starts with a discomfort where things don't feel right. The discomfort may take another level, go to the next level, which may result into incidents where short, sharp exchange may occur, which may further lead to misunderstandings where motives and facts are confused, which may further lead to tension where negative attitudes and fixed opinions. And finally, this may become a crisis where normal functioning is difficult. While we discussed about functional and dysfunctional conflict, there are certain positive forces of conflict. Conflict stimulates interest. It is a means of problems to be heard, increases cohesiveness, promotes change, and provides means to work together. While there are negative forces of conflict also, as you see in the picture, the hen and the cock are waiting for their counterpart to come out of the oven. So negative conflict diverts attention from important issues, may damage morale, may cause polarization or division, reinforces differences in values, produces irresponsible and regrettable behaviors. So, conflict is anything in which your concerns or desires of another person. The objective here in this session is to become more aware of your own conflict style, recognize the conflict styles of others, and assess conflict situations. Now we are going to learn about the different styles of conflict, and let's analyze what is your own style and what is the style of your colleagues, your family members, your friends, etc. When we see conflict and when we try to analyze its style, there are basically two important skills that are measured. One is assertiveness and the other is cooperativeness. Your conflict style will depend on how assertive you are and how cooperative you are in a particular given situation. There are 5 conflict handling modes or 5 conflict management styles: competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, accommodating. We will see each style one by one. Let's see competing style, where you see that the person is very high on the assertiveness skills but extremely low on the cooperativeness skills. The punchline here is my way or the highway. Typically, people with competing style of managing conflict take quick action, make unpopular decisions, stand up for vital issues, and protect them. Generally, people with competing skills to handle conflicts are arguing or debating in nature, using rank, position or influence, asserting their own positions and feelings, standing their own ground, and stating their position clearly. Overuse of competing would lead to lack of feedback. People would not resist giving feedback to such people. It will lead to reduced learning, low empowerment, and it would lead to people being surrounded by yes people. Underuse of competing would lead to restricted influence, indecision, delayed action, and contributions. The next style that I'm going to discuss is accommodating. As you can see, the accommodating style is very high on cooperativeness but extremely low on assertiveness. Such people show reasonableness, develop performance, create goodwill. They love to keep peace, retreating and maintaining. Generally, such people forego their own desires. They are selfless, obedience, and give importance to ability to yield, that is, give away or give up or surrender. Overuse of accommodating will lead to overlooked ideas, restricted influence, loss of contribution, and anarchy. Underuse of accommodating would lead to lack of rapport, low morale, by the book reputation, and inability. The next style is avoiding. As we can see, in avoiding style, the person is low on both the assertiveness as well as cooperativeness skills. The punchline here is, I'll think about it tomorrow. The person avoids the conflict, leaving unimportant issues alone, reducing tensions, buying time, knowing your limitations, allowing others ownership, recognizing issues as symptoms. People using avoiding skills to manage conflict are generally withdrawing, sidestepping. They have sense of timing and ability to resolve. Overuse of avoiding would lead to lack of input from you. Decisions made by default. As you are avoiding, someone will come and take the decision. Things will be festering, rotting. Underuse of avoiding would lead to hostility or hurt feelings, lack of prioritization or delegation. The next style of handling conflict is collaborating style, which some people say is one of the best style of managing conflict. As you can see here, it is high both on assertiveness as well as on cooperativeness. The punchline is, two heads are better than one. Such people give importance on integrating solutions, learning, merging perspectives, gaining commitment and relationships. People with collaborating style of handling conflict generally have the ability to listen, understand and empathize. They believe in non-threatening confrontation, input analysis and identifying concerns. Overuse of collaborating may lead to too much time on trivial matters, diffused responsibility and overwork. Underuse of collaborating would lead to lack of commitment, low empowerment and loss of innovation. The final style of handling conflict that I am going to discuss is compromising. As we can see, it is moderate in both assertiveness as well as cooperativeness skills. The punchline here is, let's make a deal. Here the importance is more on resolving issues of moderate importance, reaching resolution with equal power and strong commitment, creating temporary solutions, dealing with time constraints and backing up competing or collaborating. People with compromising skills of handling conflict are generally negotiating, finding a middle ground, making concessions and assessing values. Overuse of compromising would lead to loss of big picture perspective, lack of trust and cynical. Underuse of compromising style of handling conflict may lead to frequent power struggles and inability to negotiate effectively. So here in total we have seen 5 styles of handling conflict. Forcing, which is also called as competing, avoiding style, accommodating style, compromising style and collaborating style. Except collaborating style, in each style we can see at least one partner is unhappy. That's why they say collaborating is the best style. However, no style is foolproof and experts also say that it all depends on situation. Depending on the situation, one may change his or her conflict handling style. It is possible that at times forcing style or competing style is better than collaborating style. So in a nutshell, the forcing or the competing style is a win-lose style where the objective is get your way. Your posture is I know what's right, don't question my judgment or authority. Supporting rationale, it is better to risk causing a few hard feelings than to abandon a position you are committed to. The likely outcome is you feel vindicated, but other party feels defeated and possibly humiliated. The avoiding style or lose-win style, as you can see, is to avoid having to deal with conflict. The person avoids the conflict. Your poster is I'm neutral on that issue. Let me think about it. Here I have shown the posters of 3 monkeys who do not want to hear, listen and see conflict. The supporting rationale here is disagreements are inherently bad because they create tension. The likely outcome, interpersonal problems don't get resolved because you are avoiding it, causing long-term frustration manifested in a variety of accommodating style. In a nutshell, as you can see in the poster, all the dogs are accommodating towards the cat. The objective here is don't upset the other person. As you can see, the dogs are not upsetting the cat. Your poster is, how can I help you feel good about this encounter? My position is not so important that it is worth risking bad feelings between us. The supporting rationale, maintaining harmonious relationships should be a top priority. Likely outcome, other person is likely to take advantage of. Compromising style of handling conflict. In a nutshell, the objective is reach an agreement quickly. Your posture is, let's search for a mutually agreeable solution. Supporting rationale is, prolonged conflicts distract people from their work and engender bitter feelings. The likely outcome, participants become conditioned to seek an expedient rather than effect. The last style is the collaborating style. As you can see in the picture, the dogs and cats together helping each other. It's a win-win situation, a win-win conflict handling style where the objective is to solve the problem together. Your posture is, this is my position, what is yours? I am committed to finding the best possible solution. Supporting rationale, the positions of both parties are equally important, though not necessarily equally valid. Equal emphasis should be placed on the quality of the outcome and the fairness of the decision making. The likely outcome, participants find an effective. So, the net outcome of understanding conflict is solving the problem is the goal and not winning. Whenever there is a conflict, there are three parties involved. One is the initiator, the other is the mediator, and the respondent. Each one of them have their roles to play. If you are an initiator in a conflict situation, there are few guidelines for effective collaboration. One should maintain personal ownership of the problem. Briefly describe your problem in terms of behaviors, consequences and feelings. For example, when you do X, Y happens and I feel Z. Use a specific incident to explore the root causes of a problem rather than beating around the bush. Avoid making accusations and attributing motives to the respondent. Specify the expectations or standards that have been violated. Persist until understood. Encourage two-way interaction by inviting the respondent to express his or her perspective and ask questions. Don't dump all your issues at once. Approach multiple issues incrementally. Proceed from simple to complex, easy to hard. If in a conflict situation your role is that of a mediator, these are the guidelines. Acknowledge that conflict exists and treat it seriously. Construct a manageable agenda by breaking down complex or multiple issues. Do not take sides. Remain neutral regarding the disputants as well as the issues as long as violation of policy is not involved. Focus the discussion on the impact the conflict is having on performance and the detrimental effect of a continued conflict. Keep the interaction issue oriented, not personality oriented. Also make sure that neither disputant dominates the conversation. Help disputants keep their conflict in perspective by identifying areas of agreement or common viewpoint. Help disputants generate multiple alternatives. Make sure that both parties are satisfied with the proposed resolution and committed to implementing it. If in a conflict situation your role is that of a respondent, these are the guidelines. Respond appropriately to the initiator's emotions. If necessary, let the person blow off steam before addressing substantive issues. Establish a climate for joint problem solving by showing genuine concern and interest. Respond empathetically even if you disagree with the complaint. Avoid justifying your actions as your first response. Seek additional information about the problem. Ask questions that channel the initiator's remarks from general to specific and evaluative to descriptive statements. Focus on one issue or one part of an issue at a time. Agree with some aspects of the complaint, facts, perceptions, feelings, or principles. Ask the initiator to suggest more acceptable behaviors. Agree on a remedial plan of action. So in summary, conflict is essential to the survival of the organization. Conflict should not only be accepted but encouraged in organizations. However, this has to be a functional conflict and not dysfunctional conflict. Effective conflict management includes both stimulation and reduction of conflict. Conflict management is the responsibility of all employees. Understanding your style can assist in working with others. All styles of conflict management have their place, as we have seen 5 styles, but collaboration is best for most working situations. With this, I end this session on conflict management. I'm sure you might have enjoyed this session. Thank you.